you're dating a man and that man doesn't really pay attention to detail, I'm here to tell you that's probably inaccurate. Most men, even men that I know that wear glasses, have Hawkeye vision. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. Happy Monday, everybody. So I spent several years working in the Department of Corrections, and one of the things I wanted to come on here and talk to you all about is about men have great vision, probably some of the best vision that I've ever known. And I learned that when I worked in the Department of Corrections. There is a movie, I think it's Waiting to Exhale, when oh gosh, Loretta Devine's character, she's like looking at Gregory Hines and she's like checking him out, and she has like this microscopic vision, and she's like looking at his mustache and everything like zooms in about his body. Yes, I would say it's very similar to that for a lot of men. And again, I've learned this from working in the Department of Corrections. So, when I used to go to work in the Department of Corrections, the prison yard is about, I don't know, 2 or 3 football fields big. It's a very big yard. And, every time I would come in, there would be people on my caseload, and even people who weren't on my caseload, men specifically, that could see me from way over yonder. And they would address me, as soon as I came in, and that's how far they could see me, right? Way over yonder. And then the other thing would be too, I had an office, so it would be like the cell blocks down a little ways, but I had an office, and it had a window, and the window, it's not really even a window in my opinion. It was like a slit of a window. It's like this thin of a window, and I would come in the mornings, and come to find out, people could see in my windows, and they would know when I came in and what I had on and everything that was going on in my office. And I ended up having to board my office up, despite the fact that prison blocks were way over yonder. You have people that don't even have big windows in their cells, and they could see, there's a report going on around, and they know everything. And so that there's nothing that they don't miss, even the men that I worked with. So it's not just inmates or people that need something to do, but men that I work with, there's nothing that they missed. And they were always commenting, and they could memorize, well, you wore this that day, and all of this other kind of stuff. And it would be the most mundane things that you would never even think about. But those are things that they memorize down to the T. Even with people you think that aren't looking, trust and know that they are looking, and they pay attention to details that even you forget. But they remember. They have Hawkeye vision. So don't ever let a man ever tell you that he doesn't know, or he doesn't see, or he didn't pay attention. That is inaccurate. They pay close attention. And this may become more evident, if the relationship, if like you're on your way out of the relationship, or you start to move on from the relationship. Oh, that that's when they talk about the details, how you wear your hair, what you're doing, and now you're going out and you're prancing around with your friends and things like that. And so that when they become emotionally connected to things, is when they start memorizing. So if there's ever like any sort of rejection, or strong emotions that go into that, they're much more likely to have. It's really likely to be etched into their memory like no other. But they still have Hawkeye vision, even ones that wear glasses. Thanks so much.